It's Memorial Day weekend, and we're here in Pleasant Hill, California.
Right. One of our offices
That's
here.
That's right. And we have, if you look back there, you can see the street behind our office.
Yeah.
But we're here, even though it's Memorial Day weekend and people are traveling.
Yeah.
We're doing this monthly.
Yeah. Once a month.
This was the only weekend that we could do it.
Yeah.
Right. And so we're happy to talk about a lot of interesting things today.
Right. And so I hope you guys will learn a lot of things today, just like what, we're learning every day, Rob. Yeah. I see you most of the time on your phone. I don't know if you're just texting or you're just looking at the news.
I'm just looking like I'm busy, just trying to look busy.
You're a pretender.
Yeah.
You're a great pretender. Right. So that's what we're going to talk about, like what's happening around us, because we believe that the more we know, the more we can make plans on what we need to do with, protecting our home, our money, and our retirement.
Yeah. And today's topics are very relevant.
Yes.
Because they're happening all around us. Yeah. People actually see the things that we're talking about. These are economic terms.
Right.
But we see them firsthand when we go shopping, right? Or we sense when we hear in the news layoffs and stuff. These terms are very relevant.
Yeah, because we know that most of us are probably heard of what's happening, but do we really understand what the current events on how will that affect our personal lives? And so that's really the intention of today's Facebook Live, right? And so, but at the same time, we would like to have fun, so we have some games today.
Yeah,
right.
So we always have games.
Yes.
You show up when we have Facebook Live, you have a chance to win some money.
Exactly. Yeah. So part of the some of you already joined the game because I think we posted the topic that we will discuss today. What is worse? Is it inflation or recession? So if you answer that question and you like our page and you share our page, then you have the chance to win $100.
Yeah, and just know there's no right answer to that question. We
because
have
that's
opinions.
Your opinion. Yeah.
You have opinions.
Right.
We'll share our opinions and we'll read some of your opinions.
Yes, exactly. And then if you will also stay tuned from the beginning to the end of our live experience, you will have a chance to win $50. In fact, we will pick 2 winners for that.
For the games.
No, that's not a game. It's like just staying tuned. I mean, staying in the course, like from the beginning to the end of the experience, you will automatically be included in the raffle.
Oh,
and we will be we will pick 2 winners, right? $50 each. And then on top of that, we have games.
Okay.
Right? We have games about the discussion. But here's the thing. Good news, because when this is what we've been doing in our Facebook Live, that whoever answer first wins. So now, even if you did not answer first, but you have the right answer, you have a chance to win also.
Yeah, and I like how you came up with that, because you say some people
came up with that.
Well, some people might have arthritis or whatever. And they can't type fast enough.
Yeah, fast enough.
But they might have the right answer,
yes.
right? So, you're competing against a young millennial.
Yeah.
And they just, texting. And so we do have a new system where, if you have the right answer, you have a chance to win.
Right. So we will pick 2 winners that
for speed.
So we will pick whoever will answer first will win.
Okay.
And then whoever answered the right answer within the 30-second period
or in a raffle
will be in the raffle. And we will pick 2 winners.
Okay.
Yeah. So Rob, why don't you read some of the messages that we're getting here?
Okay. Well, I didn't bring my glasses, but we'll
Colleen, I see Colleen here.
Oh, Colleen.
Hi,
hello, Colleen. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. See you next week in Vegas.
We have a lot of people just saying present, right?
Okay. Yeah. Present, because
Adrian says good morning.
Yeah. I wonder if they need to say present to be able to be in the raffle. That's maybe. Fine. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, they do. Oh, so that's
Do
what
they
they're-
need to say
I see.
present?
They just want money, the people saying present, right?
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Oh, Madison. Hi, from South Carolina.
Oh, hi, Madison.
Hi, Madison. Pamela 10. Jessie Lim.
Mhm.
So thank you guys for coming. I know, long weekend is very important for us, but
Yeah.
thank you for joining anyway.
Thank you
I
for
mean,
spending time
yeah.
on usually a weekend that people are traveling. So
Right.
we're lucky to have people today,
I
actually,
know.
right? You know,
Yeah.
if I wasn't doing this, I'd be traveling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
Rob, I actually come across with a question, this week.
yeah.
They ask us, why are we not, why is Keeping It Real not there in TFC anymore every Sunday at 5 p.m.?
Well, so right now we're on a break and we're, filming season 4.
Mhm.
So we did 3 seasons straight back to back.
Yeah.
And
know.
now, we got some vacations and
Mhm.
some trips. And,
Yeah.
but they just need to be watchful,
Yes.
and they'll see us come this fall with
Mhm.
season 4.
Right. So while we are filming season 4, actually, our producer is here right now joining us
That's
too.
right. Mouse is there.
Yeah. So we're already planning on where to go and the success stories that we would like to bring in and be an inspiration, because I think, people need inspiration now, right now.
People
They
need
need it
inspiration always.
Badly. Yeah, always.
Not
And-
just now. always.
Right. And so just just know that you can still catch us on TFC, my TFC.
Yeah, we're there. We're on the
Oh, I want TFC
Yeah.
and the ABS-CBN YouTube channel, and we
on
also-
demand. You can watch any episode.
on demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, the season 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And then we also have the YouTube channel, Keeping It Real with Robin Ning, and then this
Mhm.
Facebook Live while we are filming
Season
the
4.
season 4.
Yeah.
And we thought about maybe capturing something while we are traveling
What are
to
we
share
capturing?
with them.
Oh, you mean
The
individually?
behind the
some-
scene or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So go to all those platforms and you can catch us, and we'll be back on TFC. That is
We love that.
this
Yeah.
fall,
We've been doing that for more than a decade now. So
a long time.
yeah. And more importantly, Rob, I mean, I think people need information, help them understand what's going on so that,
And we
We
like
can-
to do our little part.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we're doing that today.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing that today. That's actually the topic today. So now we have don't forget to follow our Facebook page, please. Please keep
Mhm.
following our Facebook page so that you know what's going on and all that
Right.
stuff.
Right.
We wanted to keep you updated
Yeah.
about the latest news and
Mhm.
current events and
That's
stuff
true.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question that we
Mhm.
that we posted last week or so
Mhm.
is, what is worse, inflation or recession? And I was told by our staff, when they look at the answers, most
Mhm.
people answered recession.
Mhm.
So we're going to go back to that in a little bit, but for right now, we will discuss about inflation. What is inflation? Why don't we watch this?
Mhm.
Inflation is the increase in prices of goods or services over time. Dan just got paid and needs to buy groceries. Dan heads to the grocery store and loads up his cart with the items that he needs. These items cost Dan a total of $100. A year later, Dan returns to the grocery store with $100 to purchase the same items. However, now the same items cost $105 and Dan is forced to remove an item from his cart. Dan has experienced the effects of a 5% inflation rate. Dan must pay $5 extra to purchase the same items that cost $100 only a year ago. Inflation leads to higher prices and lower purchasing power. It's usually a monetary phenomenon caused by a country printing more money than is justified by the country's wealth. When more dollars are issued for a limited amount of assets, the value of each dollar is decreased. Many countries' central banks set an inflation rate target of 2 to 3% per year.
So that was just a little educational sort of film on
Yeah.
inflation. And inflation really, so you want to listen carefully because our game
Yeah.
hinges on knowing the answer to this one question, right?
Right. Yeah.
So in America, right, we have what's called the CPI, right,
Mhm.
which is technically the official inflation rate,
Mhm.
right, measured by the government.
Right. So CPI is Consumer Price Index, or CPI. So whatever is the percentage resulted to the CPI is actually the inflation rate. That's what we use,
Mhm.
or the government uses to say that we are in inflation, and that is the rate of the inflation.
Yeah, and then recently we've had quite a bit of inflation,
Yes.
right? So if we had years and years of very low inflation,
Mhm.
and then just recently, probably starting at the beginning of 2023,
Mhm.
22, right?
Mhm.
Inflation started kicking up, and that's why rates are going up,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So the higher rates are trying to lower the inflation rate.
Right. So we actually have some examples here of what gets inflated, right? Like example, everyone knows that eggs went up in value, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it's too expensive now to buy eggs, and that's kind of like every family's in
Mhm.
anywhere.
You know
have
how that has affected me?
eggs. Yeah.
I used to eat 3 egg omelets. I'm down to 1 egg omelets.
I don't. Well, I will give my share to you
Oh,
because I
okay.
don't eat
Okay.
egg as much.
Okay.
So that's a little expensive. And what else? What
Well,
else
a
do
lot
we
of
have?
that's a staple good.
Yeah.
When you get inflation in staple goods, milk, butter, eggs, bread, people feel it,
Yeah.
right? If you have inflation in things like airline tickets and stuff,
Mhm. Not
that
Louis
affect-
Vuitton purses.
Louis Vuitton, not everyone feels that inflation,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
You know, but when it's
That's
in
true.
the staple goods,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's painful.
Right. Right. So we have here example of okay. So we have like eggs shoot up by 120% in 2022.
Yeah, I remember they spiked up.
Yeah.
They've
Mhm.
come down just a little bit, but they spiked
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah, remember when we attend church in Las Vegas, and there is this someone posted in Facebook like precious egg is what is given to, this guy wants to propose to the girlfriend, and instead of a ring, he's giving a dozen of egg to the girlfriend because it's now
Mhm.
precious.
Yeah,
Considered
Yeah.
precious. Eggs are not considered
because they were
precious.
very
like-
expensive. At
Yeah,
that moment.
very expensive. What else do we have here? Yeah, so that's the progression of the prices of eggs. I can't believe it.
Mhm.
It's
And you know,
$4.
it's tough here in America, right? But when you think of third world countries,
Mhm.
because they have inflation, this is just not in America.
Yeah.
This is everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And so when food is already expensive in many third world
Mhm.
countries and they
Mhm.
get inflation,
Mhm.
think how painful that is
Mhm.
for those people.
Yeah,
We think it's painful here. It's more painful overseas.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I have to wear my glasses. The fuel. Oh my goodness, yes, the fuel is so expensive too.
Mhm.
I mean, there were a time, Rob, that the gas here in California, somewhere in California, is like $7 to $8 per gallon.
Mhm. Yeah. So when you have inflation, you have spikes coming down. You know, it just
Mhm.
goes up. It doesn't go straight up.
Yeah, no.
Spikes, comes down a little,
Mhm.
goes
And then
back
goes
up,
back
comes down.
Yeah,
But the trend is upward,
yeah.
right?
So here in Northern California, or specifically Contra Costa,
Mhm.
we're like on
County.
a four.
Yeah.
Contra Costa County, we're like on a $4-something per gallon.
We're close. We're bumping 5.
Yeah. But when you put when you fill up your gas, right?
Mhm.
Your tank, it's like you used to pay $30, and now it's like double or more than double, like
You filled
$70.
You filled up your tank because you drive electric.
But the electric, so yeah, the electricity is also gone up in value.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it. Good thing I have solar, but the you have solar panels, but
Mhm.
the electricity also went up.
Yeah, everything is going up. Everyone feels it,
Mhm.
right? And the inflation side is very painful.
Yeah, and I'm sure you felt it too with your coffee, because
Oh,
coffee
that's the
also
most
gone up in
painful.
value.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was,
That's where Rob feel the most pain. Is a cup of
yeah,
coffee every day, because he needs to have a cup of coffee in his hand every
yeah.
morning.
If I have to downgrade from, I don't know if I can name the brands, down to the convenience store
Yeah.
coffee, that will be so painful. Right now, I've held on,
Hmm.
but you're right, it's very expensive.
Yeah, and just like the video that we watched, I mean, before you can fill up your cart with goods, but
Mhm.
now you have to eliminate some that it's really not important.
Yeah.
That way your budget will make it.
Yeah, it's not hard to talk about inflation because
Mhm.
people feel it.
Yes.
You know,
Mhm.
it's not something. But if you want to know where you can see what the actual rate is,
Mhm.
it's the CPI.
That's correct. So the CPI basically, and I just wanted to explain this like in a very in layman terms, if I may say.
Okay,
So
try.
yeah, I will
Okay.
try. So it is like how people spend and where they put their money. But like what you said, Rob, it's not just that, because like example, for the fuel, for the oil, we have nothing to do with it. We're importing oil now and fuel that makes the fuel at a higher cost,
Mhm.
of which that fuel is the one who transport all our goods and everything, and that's why those
All prices go
all
up when it
prices
costs
goes
more.
up
Yeah.
because of that.
Mhm.
So that's basically the what inflation means and
Mhm.
how we get into
And
inflation.
let me just say, if your income doesn't keep up
Mhm.
with the CPI, then your income or your purchasing power goes down. So you're actually, even
Mhm.
though your rate, say you got a 3% increase on your wages,
Yeah,
but the CPI is 8%,
right.
you actually lost money,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Even though you're getting more,
Hmm.
you're actually being able to buy less.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Your
And that's the
purchasing
pain
power.
of inflation.
Right. Your purchasing power is not the same
Yeah.
just because everything went up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just like the Social Security pension, right? It goes
Mhm.
up every year,
Mhm.
but I mean, it's just a percentage that goes up that's added to your pension, but really it's not enough to get by. And that's what we're hearing lately from the consultations that we're doing.
Mhm.
It's interesting, Rob. We have some clients that calling us back, and now they are ready to do something just because they're worried about what's happening.
Yeah, I would say that inflation, I mean, here's my take on inflation and real estate.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a home that you're happy with and you have a good interest rate on it and so forth, I would hold on to that.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Especially if you're under 4%.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If you're in a home that's not suitable for you, or you're in a high sort of, you've refinanced or whatever. Oh my gosh, someone's tired of that discussion. So we have a bell where we have to play the game.
Yes.
Right?
So,
It's game time. Yeah.
oh wow, there's music now.
Wow, I
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Dance. Okay. But so again, let me just say this game, whoever Rob will throw in a question,
Mhm.
and then you need to answer, and whoever answer it first, the right answer will win $50.
Yeah.
But within 30 minutes, not 30 minutes, but 30 seconds, if you continue to type in your answer and it's correct, so you will be automatically included on the raffle that we will do that later within our live experience.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
so even if we already announce a winner, just keep typing within that
If you
30
get the right
seconds.
answer,
Yeah,
you're in the raffle.
for 30 seconds. You need to type
Within the
in,
30
send it
seconds.
within the 30
Yeah.
second period.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
All right. Are you ready? So let's go. Let's go do this.
Okay.
Rob
If you
will
were
have a
listening
question.
to us,
Mhm.
you'll get the answer. Okay.
Yeah.
The government measures the inflation rate by what measurement that they post monthly? Right.
We mentioned that earlier, and we actually put that out there.
The government's measurement for the inflation rate is what?
Ready?
Go.
Go. Do we have like the
Oh,
timer?
this is so
thing?
exciting. I can't wait.
2, 1.
So,
Okay, I think we have winners here.
we got
Oh, they're
win.
listening to us, Rob. They are. All
The
of
audience?
them. Yeah.
That's, I'm not used to people listening to me.
Yep.
Okay.
30 seconds. Keep putting your answer.
Yeah, even if you think your first answer's wrong, type another one.
That's a great idea. Yeah, so one of our staff is watching and putting it in a raffle. Okay, I don't want to announce who the winner is. We will wait for our staff to figure out who the winner is, and then we'll
I
put
see
it
a lot
here.
of right answers.
I know.
So people are listening. That's,
Yeah,
that's
they are
good.
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
So it's the consumer price index is the answer.
Mhm.
So again, that is whatever is the percentage of the CPI. That is the
Inflation.
rate for the inflation.
That's the government measured inflation.
That's how they measure, the government measure. And basically that's based on like how people spend their money and where do they spend it to, as well as some other factors like the oil, where we're getting them and how we're using them. And that's really the CPI.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So, I can see. Okay, we would like to, by the way, we're going to answer some questions from you guys. If you have any questions related to our topic today, or just like what Robert said, whatever questions, you can probably just throw us some questions and we will
questions.
we'll answer them.
yeah.
We'll try to answer them as much as we can.
Oh, wow.
There was a question.
We have a live audience there.
That's my
And
ate.
that question is irrelevant. That's the answer.
Oh, we have a winner.
Oh, we have a winner. Who is the winner?
Madison Crispell of South Carolina. Yay.
Madison.
Great job, Madison.
Madison is a millennial. He's quick on his texting.
Yeah, thank you.
Or the computer.
Yeah, thank you. So keep typing. No, we're done.
We're done.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we're done. So, but
You better drink some coffee.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna put all the people who answered the right question, or the right answer,
Are in a raffle.
are in a raffle.
Yeah. that's
Okay.
true. Okay.
All right. So,
We're heading towards recession.
we are.
Yeah.
We're heading towards recession.
Well, in our topic today.
Okay.
Maybe in the economy as well, but right now we're heading towards the topic or the discussing
Mm-hmm.
recession.
Yeah, most of the people answered recession is the worst. It is the worst thing than inflation. What's your take on that?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not.
There's
gonna
no right or wrong answer here because
First
this
off,
is your opinion.
before we discuss that,
Mhm.
because I do have strong opinions about it,
Okay.
let's discuss recession
Mhm.
and how we measure it.
Okay.
Because our second game has to do with knowing, some things about recession.
And actually, we have something to show them.
Yeah.
What is recession?
Yeah. So we're in inflation, but we have some economists that think we're heading into a recession,
Mhm.
right? It's
Yeah,
like-
let's just give an example. What is recession first? Why don't we pull that up? What is recession?
we have a little,
So, recession is a period of temporary economic decline during
Mhm.
which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in GDP in 2 successive quarters.
Mhm.
So, maybe people will think, okay, I don't know what that means.
Mhm. Well, so let's unpackage that. GDP, right?
Mhm.
What is GDP? GDP is the gross domestic product. And
Mhm.
what that is it's everything that was made and contributed, whether it be a service
Mhm.
or a product, in that period of time is
Right.
called the GDP.
Okay, so there's actually like a pie. We provided a pie here just for us to know what composed of GDP for easy understanding, right? So GDP includes housing, clothing, travel, like a salon, the medical, restaurants. So those are composed of GDP,
Yeah.
and this has something to do with the recession.
Yeah. And so someone might ask, well, how do they measure all that? Well,
Mhm.
every business, every whatever is doing either tax receipts through sales taxes and different things. So they have
Mhm.
ways
Yeah,
to
measure.
gather these, these figures
Right.
and compile them into what the gross domestic product is.
Right. And you made an example to me yesterday, Robert, right?
Well, that example has to do with heading into a recession. So
Right.
let's say
Example of
you're a baker.
Yeah.
You're an individual little baker, right?
Mhm.
You have a little business that you work in your kitchen.
Mhm.
And let's say you make pies and your little business made 5 pies, right?
Okay.
That you produced last, month,
Mhm.
right? And you sold them all, right? Or you carried one in inventory, but you made 5 pies and you kept doing that, right? And let's say now people aren't buying your pies. So instead of making 5, you made 3 pies this month,
Mhm.
right? That is a reduction in your personal GDP, right? You have lowered your production, right? So if you had bakers all over the country and they all did that, right, that would be your GDP decreasing, right? Now, if people are buying more than 5 pies and you increased your production to like 6 pies, then GDP would be going up.
Mhm.
But in that first example, GDP was going down,
Mhm.
and that would be like a recession in your little pie business,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So the government can say, "Oh, we are contracting.
Yeah.
We're having difficulty," and so this can head into a recession.
Yeah.
And maybe all of us will now understand why people are talking about recession, right? Because there's a slowness in housing, right? In terms of
Sales.
selling.
The number of sales being transacted have gone down.
Yeah,
Loans
right.
have gone down.
Yeah, compared to, so according to the meaning of recession, it's on a quarterly basis, right? So for the last 2 quarters, we have a negative in our GDP. That's why our economists are saying, oh, we are in recession, or we're heading to a recession, or no, it's going to be end of the year or next year.
Well, certainly we've had a slowdown, right?
Yeah.
We're hovering about just kind of chugging along at the same pace, right?
Mhm.
That's a slowdown because the government likes 3% GDP growth, right? When you're below 3%, it feels slow.
Yeah.
Right. If you go negative, right, you're basically into a recession,
Mhm.
right? So we're chugging along at a little below, a little above, and that feels a little bit slow. And some, travel doesn't feel slow because people after the pandemic, they're out traveling. So that area is not in recession. Travel's not in recession. But in other areas, like
Right.
Home Depot just reported,
Mhm.
and building supplies have come down, Lowe's. So in that area, you see something.
Yeah, right. And actually, we have some examples of the news, because of the threat of the recession, or because we are in recession, that's why people are laying off, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are especially tech companies here in California. They move from it's either they will move from, expensive state and move to a better, inexpensive state, or they will just lay off because they're thinking that we are contracting right now, and therefore we need to be ready, so we better like cut off some of the people, right?
Yeah.
Employees, workforce.
That's true. But the recession can be disguised a little bit because we travel a lot. I go to the airport. I was in Orlando, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's busy.
Yeah, people are still shopping,
and
vacationing.
People are spending money, but they're also increasing their credit card balances.
I know, yeah.
So that's a sign that they're spending on credit versus just spending cash.
Yeah. So what's alarming, maybe for most of the people, hearing all these big companies like the Facebook, they already laid off people just recently, and now they will continue to lay off people, right? Amazon, and then there are some companies that's filing bankruptcy, big companies where we used to, that we know.
Or closing locations.
Yeah, Bed Baths and Beyond, they are closing down. Even Walmart and
They don't have to file bankruptcy. They
they're
can close
shutting
locations.
down, locations. We have there's a lot of stores that will be closing down in San Francisco area, not because
That might be some other reasons.
Yeah, I'm sure it's part of the recession, but but the bulk of that is the crime rate in San
Well, that's
San
what they
Francisco.
say.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah.
And what else do we have here? So we all know about the debt ceiling too. Just recently, the government is trying to come into an agreement to put a debt ceiling, just because America is already in debt, right? Trillions of debt. And there's an article that says that can also affect our pension. That there will be some delay in our pension just because
if they don't settle, I feel like they will settle.
Yeah, I'm sure they will settle too. But those are the factors that we are seeing and we are hearing, and therefore I think it's good that we know and we need to be involved, and we try to understand as much as we can on what's going on around us, because we as regular consumers, we want to go to work, we want to come home and be able to provide good stuff for our family. But if we will not, if we will not try to understand what's going on around us, then how can we make some planning?
Well, they all affect our lives. We're all trying to live our best life, right?
Well, of course.
Housing and travel, and you want to live your best life. Well, you need to know about these things because sometimes you need to take action.
Right. Yeah.
To
their pension. I talked to a lot of people for the last 2 weeks that their pension gone down because of the stock market, right? And they're still working, or some already they have the IRA and it's in stock and it's just going down.
Well, the stock market has gone up and down. There's not to get into that, but there's a few stocks that are driving the market, but the rest are just kind of hovering or down. Right?
Yeah, I know, but not all the people knows how to play stocks. That's the problem.
Well, we'll have another Facebook Live on that. We'll maybe learn about that a little bit, right?
Yeah. So, I think it's very important for us to know and understand what's going on. We don't need to be too technical. At least we just need to be able to, if we don't know something about our housing, our, the loans, our equity, all that stuff, obviously you can call someone that knows to give you some information and guide you a little bit,
Well, it's certainly our goal that no one lose their home.
Oh yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Everyone needs a house.
Preserve their equity, right, and they live their best life.
Yeah.
Right? But sometimes, if you sit too long, or if you don't take action, just look back to 2008 through 2012. Some people didn't take action when they should have, and they lost their homes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I still hear some clients saying that, I know I have a lot of equity right now, but probably next year it will be more. So I'll wait for next year.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone thinks when things are going up, they'll continue.
Right. So there are things that we don't have control, and one
people
of those.
Are tired of that sad discussion.
I know, but we'll have a game. But let me just finish my thought here.
Okay.
So one of the things that we don't have control is our equity. The equity on the home is controlled by the economy, and we're talking about the economy here.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so game time, Rob. You have another game.
We have another question.
Yeah, baby.
And the same rules apply.
Yes, same rules apply. So it's also
First one that gets the answer, automatic winner.
Right.
Everyone else that gets the right answer, but wasn't the first, they enter into a raffle to win later.
So there's a
Okay.
30 seconds there for
Okay.
you to keep typing the right answer. Okay.
Okay, so if you were listening, you should get this answer. By what government measurement does the government decide if we are in a recession? What is the name of the term that the government uses to measure whether or not we're in a recession or not?
Ready? Go. That's a 3-word, right? 3-letter word. Oh no,
It's not it's an acronym.
It's an acronym.
It's 3 words.
No, but people probably know what the acronym is.
Yeah, it's an abbreviation for the measurement.
Oh my gosh. They know it all, Rob.
I knew we were working with a very smart crowd. Wow.
That's so nice.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
Maybe I need to make a tougher question. Everyone's getting that one right.
That's a tough question, actually.
Well, if you didn't hear our discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. GDP is the answer.
Good job
Yay.
for those of you. Hopefully no one
Gross
was
domestic-
copying other people's answers, right? Hopefully.
Yep, GDP. Okay, so who is the winner? Who's
The
that?
winner.
Is Jessie Lim.
Oh,
Jessie.
very good, Jessica.
Yeah.
Very good.
thank you
She
so
was
much.
quick.
Yeah. I think Jessie always join our Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. $50 is headed your way.
$50, That's
That'll
right.
help with your inflation with eggs, I hope.
Hopefully that
Buy-
can buy eggs.
Buy you a couple of dozen, maybe. That'll
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah.
You can even choose free.
Yeah, that's true.
So we have Q&A now, Rob. So if you have any questions about anything or about our topic
Mhm.
today or anything in general, you can post it to us and we will try to answer them. Actually, it's a Q&A time now.
Is it?
Oh,
Yes. Okay. So, what question do
you
have
read it?
for us? Yeah. Is there any possibility to stop the inflation? Well, that's a nice question.
Is there anything that we can do individually or can the government do? 'Cause
Why
the
don't you? Let's answer both.
Okay, so
What
the
can we do
government is
individually?
trying to stop inflation. They raise the interest rates, right? And by raising the interest rates, it slows down certain things, certainly the housing market, loans, right? It cuts down hopefully on spending with credit cards because it raises that.
Mhm.
It cuts down lending to businesses,
Mhm.
right? Because it's a higher interest rate. So all that slows the process of spending, right?
Mhm.
And that's what they do. Individually,
Yeah, it's like the supply and demand, right? The more people wanting one thing, the more it goes up in value. And so, the government is pretty happy with the result of the inflation because
no,
really
they're not.
no, what they wanted really is for people to halt on their expenses to lower the inflation. That's why there's a lot of people, like what we said earlier, a lot of equity, but they cannot refinance because the interest rate is too high.
But they're not happy with where inflation is. They have not succeeded at lowering it
That
to a reasonable amount.
right, but the reason why they are raising the rate is because they don't want people to spend as much. So they want people to save a little bit of money and not too spendy
Yeah.
because they're trying to contain the inflation.
Yeah. In terms of your own personal battle against inflation, you can cut back a little bit,
Mhm.
right? Don't splurge. Maybe you don't go out to dinner 3 times a week. You go out twice a week. Things like that where you can cut back.
Yeah. So that's a good question.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pamela.
Yeah, very good, Pamela.
Yeah.
What's the next question?
Oh, Carlos. I'm scared for Carlos Munoz's question. This,
Oh my gosh. Read
what
it.
is the question? Is there any good news available for homeowners at this time? Yeah. Well,
Yeah, there
I
are
think
some.
there is.
Yeah. So a lot of people still have low interest rates.
Yes.
Right. And those are, if you're in a home and you have a low interest rate, you're in good shape. Right.
Mhm.
Also, there's some first time home buying. Right. So as prices come down a little bit, those people that were locked out of buying are now being able to buy,
Mhm.
and you can negotiate. Right.
Mhm.
A lot of good negotiation, and you can have buy downs because sellers will kick in to get your interest rate low. There's a lot of good on the buy side
Mhm.
right now.
Yeah.
Buyer smart.
Yeah, and I think we had this before when back in 2008 when the economy had recession, depression during that time.
You were depressed?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I'm
Okay.
no, seriously.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'm serious. That is when I have to short sold my property,
Yeah.
right? Because
That's
the value,
depressing.
yeah, the debt is higher than the value at the time. There are a lot of people, Rob, that hang on to that debt because they love the house so much, and therefore when the market rebounded, so their debt is just the same as the value. People, I will say like me,
Mhm.
I mean, I during that time I don't have a choice. The bank took the house and did not approve my short sale, and so my credit was crashed for some time, for so many years,
Right.
until when my credit started to rebound. So now I was able to snag some properties that are pretty good value, and that is during the time, the recession, during that time. So there's opportunity in recession. It's just a matter of how you will prepare yourself for that, because I'm telling you, Rob, this last 2 weeks is hard to listen to some of the clients that we have, because they are torn with, gosh,
Oh, personal
With a bill.
sharing, and you get a bill. Oh,
they are torn with, I have equity, I know, but I cannot tap it just because of the interest rate. I'm not qualified, and they are retired. So what they will do now? And there are some people who are qualified for reverse mortgage, but their equity is not enough to do the reverse mortgage. So
they
what
might
now?
need to put in a little buy down. There, no.
I know,
no.
but they don't have that.
Yeah.
They
No.
don't have that. So, I mean, it's a tough decision to make. But I like what we're saying. The question is there good news for homeowners? There is good news,
Mhm.
but it's a matter of, it's a big decision to make.
Let me just say one thing. I know we have a bill. Someone.
I know.
Okay.
Sorry.
But just real quick, if some people before 2008 would have made decisions that would have locked in their equity and sold before that major shift,
Yeah.
they would have gone through that era sort of in a much better position.
We have we featured
have
clients,
clients, yeah.
that did
exactly that.
did exactly that, and they are in a very good shape right now.
And picked up.
We guested them and did
Yeah,
their
yeah,
success
that's true.
stories. So yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we may be heading into another kind of precipice here where take action,
I know.
because when the slide happens,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying there's going to be a slide, ladies and gentlemen, but when something happens, it happens quickly.
Right. So I mean, it's a tough decision to make, but if the question, just answering that question, is there good news? Yes, there is good news. It's just a matter of how you will prepare yourself to get to that good
Oh,
thing. that you
Mouse's
have.
question
Know
really
your options.
pushed you a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. One more question, or
Okay.
are we out of time?
No,
Oh, we're
we're
out of
gonna have
time.
the raffle.
Okay.
So these are the people that answered game one correctly, but they did not make it the first one.
Okay.
They're not the first
Sure.
winner. Okay, so let's roll it, spin it. You need two of this, right? Two winners. Carlos!
Carlos,
Carlos!
$50.
$50.
Oh, my goodness. So we
Another
spin
one.
again.
a spin, Rob, so that I mean, everyone will have a chance. Rodalisa Cantos.
Oh,
yeah, Rodalisa
yeah.
always wins every Facebook Live.
She's
I
good.
think. Yeah, she's
She's
pretty
very
good.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
she's a winner.
Yep.
Now, we didn't discuss which is worse. Are we doing that?
No,
How can I
Uma.
see
Yeah,
that
why
list?
don't you answer that for
Okay.
you? Again, this is opinion, so there's
We
not,
had a lot of people
Mhm.
respond that recession is worse.
Yes.
And it is bad.
Mhm.
2008, you just shared, right?
Yeah.
Very. But I say my feeling is inflation is worse because inflation affects everyone, right? Everyone gets affected, even Wall Street. When your bonds are like 3% and inflation's 8%, they're losing money.
Mhm.
They can't take it. We can't take it. We go to the store. Everyone gets affected by out of control inflation. On the recession side, it's very painful for certain people, but not everyone gets affected by recession.
Mhm.
If you keep your job through a recession, really it's helpful to you because prices come down, but you kept your job.
Mhm.
So not everyone gets affected by recession the same way,
Mhm.
whereas inflation they do.
Yeah.
So I would say that inflation is worse than recession. Yes, people are going to feel pain in recession,
Mhm.
but not everyone.
Right. And I agree with you. I have the same answer too. Inflation, it affects all of us, everybody, whether, what
Rich, poor,
rich,
middle
poor,
class,
yeah.
everyone.
everyone. Recession, we can live with recession. In fact, we just mentioned about the advantage, or not advantage, but the opportunity during recession.
There's buying opportunities.
There's buying opportunity in recession, and so yeah, inflation affects everyone, and that's why I
Now,
think that's
there's
the
some
worst.
people that
Mhm.
can do some planning right now, and there's some people call this the eye of the storm that we're
Mhm.
seeing right
Yeah.
now. Some people can make decisions now
Mhm.
that will make, if we do go into a recession,
Yeah,
make the recession
exactly.
easier
Mhm.
and maybe full of opportunity.
Exactly. I know it's a hard decision, but
It's hard
yeah, you
because you
have
don't
to,
see it
right.
until it happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
No, you're
So, what is the next question? I saw, okay, this one is from Madison. At this time, is it a buyer's or seller's market in regards to housing? That's a great question.
Yeah. So there's still some markets out there where, sellers are still experiencing
Few.
multiple. Yeah.
Few.
And they're in the markets where the cost of living is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas,
Mhm.
right? But even in Vegas, it's slower.
Slowing.
Right.
Mhm.
So my opinion is we're shifting into the buyer's market
Mhm.
from a very strong seller's market for many, many years.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure you also heard about this, that most of the builders, prior to the raising of rates, they are sold out. Most of their
When they
houses
were
are sold out.
yeah, you had to get on waiting lists.
Yeah, waiting list, and then all of a sudden, there's a lot of inventories, just because these people that they qualified before is no longer qualified because of the interest rate.
A lot of cancellations. actually.
There's few people that can get a loan now, on a regular loan, just because of the interest rate. They can qualify, their income can't support the payment on that mortgage, and therefore, so if there's a lot of sellers out there, that means that the value of your homes will come down, and therefore it's a buyer's market. So it's an opportunity for the buyers.
Yeah, I would say definitely the buy side has a little bit of an advantage. right
yeah,
now.
in this market right now.
Definitely.
Yep.
Good
Great
question.
Madison.
Yeah.
Thank you. Harry Lagman, what did your clients I can't pretend, I have to wear my glasses.
You wear glasses?
What did your clients do back in 2008? Sold their property and bought a smaller property?
Well, yeah, we do
think
have
about
clients that have done that.
Yeah.
So really a recession, because when let's talk about your age group first, right?
Mhm.
So if you're near retirement and you sense that a recession's coming, you want to take some action. Either get your reverse done now while your equity's high, or sometimes you sell and you down. We call it right size,
Right size,
downsize,
not downsize.
to a smaller
Mhm.
home.
Mhm.
Even that for retirement, definitely, right?
Yeah.
But even anyone, right? You can buy a smaller home, less payments, move to a better place.
Mhm.
You know, now with the way work is now, right? People can live almost anywhere
Right.
if you
Mhm.
work for the right company,
Mhm.
and you can live in places with it's cheaper, right?
Mhm.
Less expensive, higher quality of life.
Mhm.
You know, what's interesting is when you factor quality of life,
Mhm.
you don't have to live in San Francisco to have a high quality life, right?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
You could live in Las Vegas, Reno, Arizona with a lot lower cost
Mhm.
and just as high quality.
Yeah.
Culturally, everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So that's what people need to understand is you're trying to seek quality of life against cost of that life,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And that is what we're trying to help people with.
Yeah. So Harry, your question, I'm thinking there are people that they don't have a choice but to short sale their property just because their debt is higher than the current market value. And if you do short sale, then that means you cannot get a loan right away because you will not be qualified because it will ruin your credit. So what they did is, they short sold and rented for a year. And, every season of the economy, things changes, like the loan guidelines changes.
You're getting a lot of bills.
I remember during that time that, bankruptcy 7, if you file bankruptcy 7, just 1 year, you can get a loan again after bankruptcy 7.
On BK13, it's right
It's
away.
like 24 months. Now it changes. So,
No, BK13, you could get a loan right away because you worked.
oh,
through
if you did not, yeah, that's true. Bankruptcy
successful
13,
13.
yeah, successful 13. If you don't have any late payments on your bankruptcy 13 payment plan,
Yeah.
then you can get a loan right away. So, but again, we will go back to the um to the facts that our investors are obviously watching the GDP and CPI as well, of if they need to change some guidelines to secure their investments, right? So the guidelines of the loans changes depending on what's happening around us as well. So to just answer Harris' question, some people rented, some people
Moved to a different
moved to a
area.
different area.
Some
and
people
then
did what he said. They sold their big home, went to a smaller home.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right. So
There's a
hopefully-
lot of different strategies
Uh-huh.
depending on where you are, your job, and everything.
Yeah,
I will say this.
Mhm.
If you can't afford, if you're struggling to make your house payment now,
Mhm. Yeah,
do
yeah.
something.
Do something.
If you're not struggling to make your house payment, you can live through any
Yeah.
kind of turmoil. But if you're struggling, if you're paycheck to paycheck or you're barely above it, I would seriously consider something.
Yeah, right. And also, there are some people that I talk to that they have good rates right now, right? They have good rates, current rate on their mortgage, but they have a lot of debt. You need to do something too.
Yeah.
Because if your equity can pay off those debt, the high debts, high interest rate debts, it just makes sense to take that equity, pay off
Well,
all your debt, and secure your housing.
Sometimes you got to sacrifice your home in
Mhm.
a time like this
Yeah.
to get clean.
Yes.
Take your remaining
Mhm.
proceeds and go live comfortably.
Yeah.
Right. Because you don't want to go into a recession with a.
That's the second bell.
Oh my God! I had.
We
to,
gotta keep going,
listen,
brother.
I'm
Yeah.
done.
Okay.
I'm not like you. I quit when I hear the.
All right, so we're gonna have the Carlos have a question again, but Mouse, hold on a second. Let's just do the
What's his question? Mouse has good questions. Read it.
wait. They were gonna bell again. They were gonna hit a bell again.
Well, just real
Should
quick.
I act and make changes to my retirement plan or just wait it out?
So
Can you
you're,
answer that after the what do you call this? The raffle.
okay.
Okay, these are the people who answered correctly too on game 2, but did not win. So we will pick 2 people here.
2 people, 2 winners.
2 winners.
Oh,
To help inflation. Who's
barely.
that? Bonifacio Bernabe. Oh, I think I know the Bernabe. Thank you for joining, Paul. Thank you.
And
Congratulations.
congratulations
for
for
the $50.
getting the right answer and
Yeah.
winning the raffle.
Hello.
She won again.
Oh, it's the orange. Amy Sam. Thank you.
Very
Amy.
good, Amy.
Yeah, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Two
So
winners.
our staff, one of our staff will reach out to you so that to get your information so that we can send you your
Mhm.
cash.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe can we just answer Mouse or Carlos
Yeah.
Munoz question real quick here?
So a lot of retirement plans,
Mhm.
right, are in the stock market,
Yeah.
right? I will say this, that a lot of people put some of their retirement, not all of it, some of it into an area where they could invest in real estate when the recession hit very hard.
Mhm.
And you can really do some powerful things with your retirement,
Mhm.
right? With that. I would probably say, since rates are kind of high with the short-term end, right? Some people don't want to play with the stock market, and dividends really are paying about 2 or 3%. And you can get it like a bond for 2 years at 4%, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes they move there to see what happens with the stock market and the debt limit and just all the scary things out
Mhm.
there. If you want to get out of the market, you can do things like that for right
Mhm.
now. But longer term, if you have a long time horizon, don't do crazy things.
Yeah.
Just let it plow
Mhm.
through. Because
Yeah.
after every recession is another expansion.
Right. Mhm. Right. Or you can also do the self-directed IRA, right?
Yeah,
If
that's
you have, yeah, if you have, but usually if you're still employed to your company, they don't allow that
Some do.
unless some do, but not all of them.
Mhm.
You can move some of your retirement to self-directed IRA, where
Mhm.
you have the option to invest that money to anything.
Yeah. Real estate,
Anywhere.
gold, silver.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
that.
or you
Gold
can
and
be a
silver.
lender too. You can be a
I'm
lender
a fan
yourself.
of gold and silver.
Right, I
Yeah.
know. You can be a lender to yourself. Lend it to.
Not to yourself.
You can be a lender yourself to other people. That's what.
Oh, like
that's
your
what I meant.
bank.
You're like
name
a
of your
bank,
bank is
exactly.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
You can lend to other people.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's a whole another topic that we can probably plan to discuss here
On
too.
another Facebook
On another
Live. Yeah.
Facebook Live. Yeah, but there's a lot of ways.
Man, that Carlos Munoz is
Always
Yeah,
good
he-
thing.
Okay, so now, yeah, pushing us to the limit here. Okay, so
he's trying to stump us, I think.
is there any other questions that we need to answer or that we're done?
Yeah, we don't want to leave anyone out,
Yeah,
but we
but
are constrained by time.
yeah, oh, Vessie's here. Vessie, great to see you. Marie Velascom. Oh, thank you po. Hi, Robin Ning, watching from Anaheim.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you po.
Yeah, they got a lovely home
Hoping
there.
to see you soon. Yes, we'll see you
Yeah.
soon.
Hope to see you soon.
Thank you po. Also, oh wait. Oh, hello, Robin Ning. Hi, Bessie. I hope you're not in Europe.
You hope
Again.
she's not in Europe?
No, because they just came
Why
back.
would you not want her to live her best life?
Because I want to go there
you
too.
jealous? Oh.
Yeah, I'm jealous. Eden C. Hi, Eden.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining. Okay. So now we have the raffle for the people who stayed through the experience.
And that's hard.
I know.
These people, that's not easy to do. So they deserve a
That's
raffle.
why-
Yeah, I hope you guys learned today. And yep,
Oh, keep that music going.
I know. That's fun. Okay, let's spin the wheel. These are the people who stayed in.
I'll taste it.
Who is this now? Amy Sam. Wow,
Amy.
that's the second
Didn't
time.
Amy win before?
Yes.
Wow,
So
big day for
she
Amy.
won again. Congratulations, Amy. And thank you
Congratulations.
for staying in
Wow,
the.
Amy, that's
in
a
our
big
live
day
today.
for you.
Hopefully we
How
can
much
see
did
you
that
again.
one pay?
Another one. Another winner. Hoy Bakanay. Hoy, thank you so much for watching
Good
our
job.
Facebook Live.
Congratulations, Coy.
Yeah, you won $50.
Joy.
Joy.
I don't have my glasses.
So again, our one of our staff will reach out to you, get information.
Don't
on
we have
how-
one more raffle?
Yeah, this last raffle are the people who joined the game. That if you shared if you like our page, you comment on that question. What is worse, inflation or recession? And if you share our page, you will be part of the
So
raffle.
if they do the full trifecta,
Mhm.
they're in this raffle.
Yeah. And by the way, we do this every month. So hopefully next month, when we post the question, the topic question, you will join us and
Yeah.
like our page and share our page so that we can help more people.
Wow, a lot of people did that. I was expecting like just 300.
And this one is $100, Robert.
I wanted this one.
Yeah, we're present.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's only one winner here. Let's go.
This is a big money, big money.
Spin that wheel. Spin that. Oh, Pamela Tan. Oh, thank you very much
Very
for
good.
joining, for sharing, for liking, for commenting on our question.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anna is here. Anna Wu. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
And Bob.
Bob,
Dave,
kids.
Jonathan, Kirby.
So-
we know everybody.
Really, we're at the end of this Facebook Live.
Mhm.
And so we may have touched on some things where people have more questions,
Yeah.
or they want to make some decisions, or they
Mhm.
need to do something. We're willing to answer their phone calls.
Right. So you know where to call for 888-860-9530, or you can message us here of any questions that you might have. And we love doing the one-on-one consultation with people just because we understand that everyone has its own scenarios, and therefore it's important to tailor the answer to our own.
And don't give up. Sometimes
Situation.
you call and we get a lot of calls.
We
and
have a
they
game
think-
again?
Oh,
What
we
is
have a
that?
game?
Is that a game? Go ahead.
No.
I'm sorry.
Well, we have a lot of calls, and sometimes people get put on
Mhm.
hold, or they get put into
Yeah.
voicemail. Don't give up.
Just
right?
bear with us, Paul. Bear with
Yeah,
us.
and
Yeah, we
we will get to you,
Mhm.
right? But we sometimes our capacity
Yeah.
gets overloaded with
Yeah.
calls.
Mhm.
So call us, text us, right? We'll
Mhm.
get back to you. We'll answer your question. We'll do the best we can to help you with any sorts of sort of strategies or options
Mhm.
that can help them through inflation and recession. And by the way, just real quick, you can have inflation and recession. That's called stagflation.
Stagflation.
And
That's
that
right.
is
Longer.
that's
Yeah.
a tough spot.
Right. Yeah. Some economists are saying that we are going to the stagflation, which means the inflation and recession will be
Together.
longer
Yeah.
together. Yeah. So, and we continually educating ourselves every day, right?
we do.
Because
Okay.
you need to be updated on the latest news and current events just to make sure that
Yeah.
we can help people
Mhm.
and inform them on what
Yeah, we're
what
here.
to
We're
expect.
here to help you as best we can.
Mhm.
Right? Lean on us and anything that we can offer. Right?
Yeah.
And we're there to help you.
Exactly. So
Thank you.
So
We
much.
always appreciate, especially on Memorial Day weekend. I thought we would have one person, right? And we had
I know.
a good number for a
Yeah.
holiday weekend. So
Thank
we're
you
very
so much.
thankful.
Yeah.
Join us again next month. Look forward to our fall
Mhm.
season 4. And we'll be back. Do you know the date for the
Mhm.
June or?
Not yet, but we will announce it. So
Okay.
it will be good that you just follow this our Facebook page so that you know everything that we're doing and updates of what's happening.
Sounds
right.
good. Thank you again. And just remember 888-860-9530. Give us a call. And then until next time, when we see you on Facebook Live, bye.
Bye.
Bigay ng thank you.
I think-